Birth pains. All people experience pain differently. I am not even speaking of the different forms of pain. And don't you for one moment believe that all pregnant ladies even experience the same pain. If you ask me if all birth pains are the same, I will say no. Not at all. Pain during labor is caused by contractions of the muscles of the uterus and by pressure on the cervix. This pain can be felt as strong cramping in the abdomen, groin, and back, as well as an achy feeling. Some women experience pain in their sides or thighs as well. Birth pains are experienced differently by different females. It also depends on experiences and trauma they go through. I know of a few ladies that never experienced any labor pains, only presigns when birth was going to happen. Okay, they were a bit anxious at the time. Then the baby would just appear, not with too much of uproar. The Bible is a book full of symbolism. Symbolism is open to different understandings and interpretations. It is depending on the language, the people, the mood, place, country or association. In the Bible, Jesus compares all the bad or so-called natural disasters that is going to happen on earth near to the end of time, with birth pains. Some biblical translations calls it the beginning of sorrows. Birth pains will not be the end of time. We are speaking about a specific time. The time before he sets foot on earth again. I'm not even sure if Jesus will eventually set physically foot on earth. Whatever you believe, is fine by me. Now, from a biblical point of view, Jesus named a few examples when to expect the end of time. Certain things must happen before he reappears. The so-called birth pains Jesus spoke about includes the following. People will mislead others. They will call themselves the Christ or Jesus the Redeemer. They will even perform miracles to prove they are him. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars. It might even be in your country. For nation and kingdoms shall stand up against each other. There will be food shortages, drought, pandemics, and earthquakes, in different places. According to the Bible, Matthew chapter 24 verses 4-8, all these goings on, are only the beginning of birth pains. But this will not be the end. It will be the birth pains before the baby appears. Remember, a baby does not normally come with the first sign. Women get cramps, different anxious feelings, pangs, breaking of her weight, etc. A mother-in-waiting goes through many different types of pain. The doctor or midwife normally says the baby comes in his or her own time. Sometimes, the doctor induces procedures for the baby to be born premature. A lady in labor experiences birth pains at different times. At first they are hours apart. Then the pains come nearer to each other until a few minutes before the baby sees this world. When the time is ripe, not before, the baby is born. Birth pains all over the world are not be the same, and they happen at different times. At first the activities all over the world are unrelated. But, nearer to the coming of Jesus, it will be closer together. Even at the same time. Storms, floods like in the day of Noah, wildfires, earthquakes and volcanoes will become the norm. Heavenly body like meteorites and space lights will visit Earth often. The Bible speaks about stars falling onto the Earth. You can't blame a Tarzan-like prophet for thinking a meteorite is a star. Some natural disasters happening at this moment on Earth is not mentioned in the Bible. Sinkholes, mudslides, wildfires appear anywhere, without previous warnings. Unearthly sounds that no human can describe, yet. It even storms in the world deserts. Collapsing and swaying of tall buildings. Untimely and unexplained deaths of humans and animals. Deaths of animals in the sea and air. People call it global warming. I call it global warning. Other might say the earth is raging. I think earth is waging a war against people. Everything God made has a life of its own and now it is rebelling against the abuse. This life, you may call a soul, a spirit, energy, or whatever. It does not matter what your beliefs are. Scientists will make up some clever lie, and they always do. They want to teach us things they themselves don't know. To them we are illiterate, stupids, unintellectual. But it does not matter. They don't understand what is happening now. But some wisecrack will think something out. It may sound right, but it is not. We are at times gullible, dummies, but we have brains. Jesus also told his followers at the time not to be worried or be uneasy when these things start happening, because it must be fulfilled. He even warned his followers to not be deceived. They must just be careful not to be misled by other people. Even some preacher, police, government official or scientist may con you. You may already have noticed how pastors deceive people to do the wrong things. I know of a few that even calls themselves the Christ. And they do miracles to trick you. If these bad things start to happen on earth, this is not the end yet. This is what is meant by the birth pains. It is still not the birth of the baby, or the coming of the Lord. It must be nearly intolerable for the end or birth or coming of the Lord to happen. Everything else is just the beginning of sorrows, as the birth pains is sometimes referred to. Apostle Paul said in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 2 and 3, "No one knows when the Son of Man, that is Jesus, will return to earth. No one in the heavens knows, but God his Father." So don't listen to the people that know about the time and day of the coming of Jesus. Biblical scientists don't know. They make it up and lie to you. Bad people won't escape the coming destruction. I see the destruction in a spiritual light. It has nothing to do with people losing their physical lives or limbs, family, friends or earthly possessions. Even a pregnant lady does not know exactly the hour and minute when she will give birth. The day of the Lord will also be a surprise. It is similar like a thief that comes and breaks into your house at night. It is totally unexpected. With all our technology, we can't really say when destruction will be upon us. Just like a woman can suddenly go into labor pains, destruction can come just as suddenly and we won't be able to escape it. In the beginning of a pregnancy, natural stomach discomfort or cramps are normal. The pain before a baby is born is much more unbearable than early on. So an earthquake here, a volcanic eruption there or a flash flood somewhere, is normal. However, near to the end, it will become more regular and shocking.